Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Teresa. This is the Garden Goose Stitcher Flosstube, where I talk about my cross stitching and, at least try to. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for all the new subscribers that have found me. Hello. Welcome. Nice to meet you. I've had fun reading through all your comments about your garden plans. I've had a great time reading everything that you guys have been sharing. I had a lot of tips about the cruise. We'll talk about that, my plans. It's been 2 weeks since I stopped in and chatted. Nate had his birthday. He turned 15. I feel like it was like an entire week of celebrations and I did not get very much done. He was born in Japan at like 1:05 a.m. And so the day before his birthday, we always go to a Japanese steakhouse and have hibachi because it's like the day prior at 11 a.m. our time in America that he was born overseas, So I always thought about that, how some moms call their kid at the time that they were born. And so I was thinking about it, I was like, but do I do the Japanese time or the time in Michigan, in the Eastern time zone? So the day before, we always go and celebrate his birthday. It's already been in Japan. And so then on his birthday, he asked for ribs. So I made ribs in the middle of winter. It was fine. And then we had a birthday party for him at the skating rink with his cousins and aunts and uncles on Friday. So I feel like we had abbreviated. My mom took him shopping. She takes each of the grandkids shopping for their birthday so they can pick out what they want. Plus she just gets to spend time with them. And so my mom took him shopping. I feel like we had 4 abbreviated school days last week. And then, I feel like a little stressed because we're going on spring break next week. So I feel like I also did not get a lot of stitching done. I did, but not like I normally would have. And I can't blame the hibachi girl. I don't know what was going on. But, and plus I hadn't been sleeping. I'm a procrastinator. Did you know that? So everything we do, I wait till the last minute to plan it or figure stuff out. So maybe that's why I wasn't sleeping very well last week, because I do not have any of my poop in a group for the cruise, for March Mad. I haven't done any of that. So this morning I planned what my Valentine's Day start was going to be. So did I mention that this is Flosstube number 12 and it's Valentine's Day? Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that someone is being sweet to you today. My husband brought home this box. He used to work for a company at the airport that they do contracting stuff or whatever, private planes, the rich people, the really rich people. And so he worked at this really wonderful couple, and she is a pastry chef and he is a normal chef. And so, that's nice. He sends stuff home. But, she was selling these Valentine charcuterie boxes. So it was macaroons and these cookies and chocolate covered or covered marshmallows and pretzels, and it's all so good. And she made little gummies, real gummies. They're rose shaped. So I opened it up today, I was like, holy catfish. This is the best Valentine's Day I've ever had. So apparently he likes plump girls, because that's not gonna keep me plump. But it's really delicious. I'm a lucky girl. I hope someone is making you feel special today too. If not, maybe you win the you know what. I mean, I love it when I'm watching other people's Flosstubes. I've been catching up on Flosstube. I just haven't been stitching a heck of a lot. But I've been catching up on Flosstube when everybody's not saying the G word, not saying the W word. But then they slip up and they're like, oh, so funny. Oh, Lordy. Anyway, so I do have some whips to show you. My normal stuff. And then I participated in 6x6. So that really got a fire going under me. But, so I last visited at the end of January, and I had finished my February wordplay And so, what day of the week did January start? Or February? I don't know if it was the last Wednesday in January or the first Wednesday. I don't remember, guys. But anyway, so after I last talked to you, basically what I'm saying is I started March. So my March wordplay, I'm stitching it on one of those vintage 14 counts that I found at that thrift shop a couple years ago. This is like a minty green. Can you see it? Isn't it cool? And I ended up picking some random color and cotton floss in my stash, and I think it's really fun. Really fun. My friend Tammy's participating in Wordplay Wednesday, and she's starting with March, and hers is fun. So it's like so exciting because there's all these people sharing with me their wordplay progress, and I'm like, oh, because it's always more fun to stitch with others. So I've been working on my Schooler During School, my February Schooler During School. And one day, I want to stitch all these little ones. Someday. But I told you last week felt abbreviated because of stuff. And this week, it's Tuesday. I haven't got all that done. But I did get the bottom stitched. The little groundhog. This is a horse. It will be. And then I got some of the days in. But I haven't got much done. And I think that there's one floss from this pattern that I don't have, and so I need to go get it. I know that I was kitting up my Valentine's Day start, and I have 2 flosses that I'm missing from that, but I can start it, and then I'll just go get the DMC. So I'll show you that later. Don't worry. I'm just wanting to mention. I also, after I finished Spring Doxology, the following Sunday, I started a new Sabbath stitch, and I've only worked on it one Sunday because this Sunday I did the 6x6 and Nate had a hockey game, and so I didn't get much time for stitching, and I wanted to do the 6x6 instead. So this is I Wait for the Lord from Hands to Work. I'm pretty sure I picked this up at a freebie table at a retreat someplace. I'm using, let me tell you the specifics, you guys. It's an Ada. It's an 18 count forbidden fibers. Forbidden what? Forbidden what? This is called Parliament. It's very pinky, and so I'm stitching it in green. Specifically, I can't tell you the color because I did not pull it out. But I didn't know what the cloth was. That's a miracle. I'm stitching it in green. I got a bit done. It was very fun to stitch, very relaxing to stitch. I'm sure I was watching Call the Midwife. I'm going to probably stop watching Call the Midwife. I think I'm in almost to season 6. And I don't know, you guys. I think I'm just done. But, so I've been working, I started that. I'm looking forward to that. I think I'll take it with me to work on Sunday. Because we're leaving on Saturday for our cruise. And then Sunday, we're just in Florida. And then Monday our cruise leaves. So we're flying down on Saturday. We have a whole day. And then we'll get on our cruise. And so many people told me to go watch Stitcher. And I started watching one of her Flosstubes where she was on her cruise. And so I need to go finish it. And I also need to ask her. I wonder how she is at responding to comments. Like how she finds out, because she knows how many people are going to be at the meetup the next day or whatever. And she does like a daily vlog entry. It was very interesting. Do you guys want me to do that? You totally want that, right? A daily vlog while I'm on my cruise. My other whip I've been working on is this winter. And this is from Salt and Pepper Stitch. Salt.pepper stitching. It's Emily Call. I love all of her stuff. Today I'm going to be starting her Valentine. I don't have a cover sheet to show you, so, and it's going to be on this fabric. So this is my winter. Because remember I did Be Merry, and then right here is winter. So I have 2 more sections. I'm going to put Valentines on one of these. So, but I've been keeping this in my car. Nate had 2 hockey games this past weekend. And so he always has to be there an hour early. So if it's not bitter cold, I stay in the car and I stitch for a little while. And so I've been working on that. He had a game on Saturday. They won. He had a game on Sunday. They lost. So, on the 6x6, over on the Stitch Your Stash group on Facebook, which is moderated or hosted by Alicia from the Fanciful Flamingo and Jessica from Sweetwater Sweetwater Stitcher. Holy crap. Forgive me. They have that Facebook group to Stitch Your Stash. It doesn't mean you can't buy anything. Is that what I'm doing? Mostly, yes. But they didn't say that. I just chose to do that. So don't ask them about the rules. There's no rules. But everybody asks about breaking rules, and there's no rules. So, anyway, so they hosted a 6x6. Basically, it's just a fun way to give yourself time. Like, oh, there's a challenge, or there's a, whatever, to motivate yourself, to take 6 hours for yourself in the weekend and put your hands and put some stitches in on 6 projects. I think it was intended possibly to do 6 new starts, but then they were like, you could do 6 whips, you could do half and half or whatever, just like everything else. Do what you want to do, right? So I did 6 whips and I did 6 new starts. So no, those are the wrong words. I did three of each. So I'm going to show you my new starts first because that's more exciting, right? I worked on my spring string. Started this. See that bunny? My fabric's a tad light. I don't know what this was. I just found it in a bag. And so I had to back stitch the bunny. And right now it looks terrible because it doesn't have eyes. Just pretend it has eyes. But I don't think I hate it. It's just a nice creamy scrap. And I thought, well, I'm going to use it. And then the bunny didn't show at all. So I back stitched it. And I think it's okay. It's okay. My next, this is out of order of how I did it in the 6x6, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The next one was A Lucky Day by Brenda Gervais with My Needle and Thread. I started this one. I wanted to stitch all 3 of these, to be real honest. I picked out of my stash this like grungy looking gray. I think this was like a gray piece that you get from Hobby Lobby in those little packages. You know, those little squares. And then I think I just dunked it real fast so it would get old and crusty looking. I like it. I like it a lot. I got a couple letters in. So that was a fun start. And then I decided to pick something that was Valentine's. And I picked Mouse's Love Letter by Tiny Modernist. And I have a bag of little tiny scraps. I picked this one. And I got a bit done. Look at that Bombay. I love coloring cotton Bombay. That pink color for the dress. Sure do love that. That's the same thing I stitched that boot in. When I stitched the glass slipper. The Dirty Annies. You can keep your glass slipper. The boot. Anyway, that was in Bombay. I love that pink color. 2 of the whips that I did were my Whipcos. Ha! Dual purpose. I worked on this Jack's Sweet Shop. I think I did a couple hours in this. It's a very enjoyable stitch. I talked about this last time, but I could not remember if it was Plum Street, and I didn't want to misspeak because I do that so often. So I worked on it a bit. I got quite a bit done. Maybe I'll add a picture of where I was before. Don't you love to see before and after? Like how much an hour or 2 actually shows. But I do love this. Like a lot. And then, oh, I was going to show you. This is the bag I keep it in. Have I already told you about that? I made this bag. Just a little fun thing. And then my other one was by the Willy Ew. I thought this was since I've bought it, I thought it was called December 31st. And then I was looking it up online, and it's called Midnight Dreamer. I don't think it's, I looked it over again looking for those buzzwords. And I still can't really find it, but it's a cutie. I started this on Halloween. And I pulled this out. I think I've worked on this 2 days, but it doesn't matter. My goal for both of these this month is a finish because they're small. And so this one has still quite a bit of work to do on it, but it has to be finished by the end of the month. So I keep it in this bag that I made. I got these fabrics from Joann's. I just think that they're cute. Cute. I had another whip I worked on, and it's causing me angst. It's in timeout until further notice. I don't know why I even pulled it out. I think I was pulling those out of the box under the bed, and then I saw my Hawkrun Hollow, and I was like, oh, I just want to, oh, it must have been Friday, because I was like, ooh, Farm Friday. I should stitch on it. So I pulled it out, I started stitching on it, and I was stitching on it, and then I was thinking, I hate this. I don't hate the pattern. I hate that I did not realize I was stitching on 18 count. And then I pulled this fabric out for something else. Maybe it's the same fabric that my Sabbath stitch is on. And it had the tag on it. And it was an 18 count. I've been stitching with 2 threads. And so every little stitch is shoved in there. And I hate it. I was texting my friend because when I stitched the sheep, see that sheep? It was totally washed out. And you know I like things to pop out. So I backstitched the sheep in that gold yellow color. And I think it looks nice. I mean, I still like this fabric. I just need to rip everything out and stitch it over one instead. I mean, I could have got further and realized it. But now, I mean, I don't know how I'm going to motivate myself to do that. I feel like I could. I don't know how I'm going to motivate myself to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't know, you guys. What do you think about the sheep? I think it was a nice, I think it looks nice with the back stitching. I still like that fabric. And there's a cow that's in white, and I think 1 chicken or something. Like, I looked at the rest of the pattern, and it's not going to be a problem. I just love my floss rings for this project because I used a bunch of them from some of my friends. From StitchCon, I got some, and then some I got from the Stitching with the Housewives retreat. They were from my table mates. I think these are Susan's. Yeah. Aren't they pretty? And then I think that this was Tammy's. Yeah. Stitch time. So, and then somebody made these. I think maybe it was Karen. I don't know. But anyway, it just makes me think of them. And because I was at that retreat when I decided I was going to invite myself in to stitch alongside Lisa. But I am stitching it. This is what I'm thinking, okay? Tell me what you think. I'm stitching it this version where it's square or rectangular. Because this is how Lisa's stitching it. The long, narrow way. Stitching it the fatter way. So I'm thinking, like, what if I just start this one next to it? And, like, every time I sit down, I take out a part. Like, if I take out a tree and then stitch for fun. And then I take out part of the wording and then I go. And that way, it's not only going backwards every time I touch it. I don't know, you guys. How do you get yourself to frog major things like that? Please advise. I really love that pattern, and I really love the fabric even, and I don't hate that backstitching. I think it looks very nice. Sometimes I think backstitching saves the day. If you love the fabric, but I don't know. Anyway, tell me what you think. My other whip that I worked on, so that was besides the point. My other whip that I worked on was my snowy string during the 6x6, and I finished it. I think it's cute. I don't think I'll finish it this week before we go, so it might just go in my finishing bag, my bag of all the things that need to be finished someday. And then my other finish was my January Schooler During School. All I had left last time we visited was the mittens up here, and then I had a couple. I needed like a strand to finish that back stitching around the snowman. Like, I had like really just part of that, but I ended up finishing it. I couldn't put it down. I had, like, as soon as I got done, or while it was uploading, I was stitching the stitching those mittens. I super duper love this. Love it so much. So that's what I worked on. 2 finishes for 2 weeks. But I do feel like I have a lot of small things on the horizon that might. So today I'm going to start the Valentine by Salt Pepper Stitching. And that's all. I don't really have a lot of other plans. I do have a little bit of haul. And then I'll talk to you about my cruise plans and my March Madness plans, which are vague. But so I've been really good about not buying impulse buys. However, I have some confessions. When Hands On Designs Gather Round subscription came up, I bought it. I bought it. I had the money. I bought it. I wanted to do it, and it was like then or never. So I did it. It came the other day, and I'm not going to show you the whole box, but the presentation was spectacular. And they sent like the finishing with the first box. So everything's done. These are magnetic that you put the little things. These are already cut. Look at the little baby E6000. Can you even? So cute. And it came with the fabric. I did the Ada. This feels like just 14 count. I'm not sure. Maybe it's 16. Maybe it says. These are the patterns for the first. It's quarterly, so these are probably springy, right? And then there'll be summer, I assume. I don't know. You know what they say about assuming. Cute needle minder. Came with the DMC floss. Isn't that cute? So I bought that. They had a Zoom the other day. I was kind of worried about showing any of it, but I think most people have got it. Plus, they had a Zoom the other day, so I don't think it's secretive anymore. If it was, and I ruined it, I'm so sorry. But like, what's wrong with your mail? Anyway, so I got that. I also recently, I've been stalking eBay because I would like to find a blackbird that apparently is hard to find. I saw Helen D had stitched something a couple of weeks ago, and she shared it in her Flosstube maybe like a month ago, and I think it's called Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland, I think. It's a house, and it's got 2 geese in the front, and I thought, oh my goodness, I want to stitch that. And then I found out it's not easy to come by. So I've been stalking eBay occasionally, and I have it set up so it's supposed to message me, but it hasn't come up yet. But while I was on eBay, I found Wash Day again. And this has been something I've been hunting for. I think I might have bought a copy. Have you seen this before? It's very pretty. I think it was a Leisure Arts or one of those older leaflets. And the original pattern that I had seen had 3 versions of this stitched, like one in red, one in green, and one in blue or something. And I found this online. It's copied by somebody. I don't know if I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe this shop had the rights. I don't know. It came with a kit. So it came with a linen, which I probably won't use. Oh, it's kind of pretty. And then the DMC, and it came even with a needle. So I don't know, you guys. Like, what do you do if you think you might have accidentally bought something that was wrong? But like, if you can't find it, I don't know. That seems kind of legit. It came in the kit. It was all packaged up. I opened it up. Anyway, so I had seen somebody else talk about that being their unicorn, and I went to look it up, and then I was like, no, it's one of my unicorns. I found it. So when I found it on eBay, even though I was there looking for that blackbird chart, I bought it. And I really, really love that pattern. I'm glad I found it. It wasn't the 15th, but sometimes a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. I also got my Color and Cotton, my first Color and Cotton subscription. Look at it. It's all like springy and Eastery. I don't remember how, but when I got back from Stitch Away, in the group message that we have from our table mates from the Stitch Etc. retreat, somebody had posted, I think it was Holly, said, who was it that wanted in the Coloring Cotton Club? She just opened some up, and I like went right over and signed up. Look at baby carrots, bunny nose, I think that's called green tea. Isn't that pretty? They're so springy. Butterfly bush and mint chip. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so springy. Aren't you so excited? Everything is melted right now here, so I'm pretty excited. And my greenhouse during the day has been warming up really, really high to like 80. So I've been going out sometimes and just sitting out there where it feels tropical. So lastly, I have the Friendship Garden to share. I had so much fun reading through your comments and reading all about your garden plans or lack thereof. It was very, very fun reading it. I actually, like a lot of you do garden. So, a lot of you do garden. So, Friendship Garden, this is my extra pattern. And I picked a winner with the random picker. And the winner is Julie McLean. MacLean. Like McLean. I'm a Mick, so I tend to think it's MacLean. I don't know, Julie. But Julie, email me at gardengoosestitcher@gmail.com and email me your address, and there's a chance I could get it out this week. So, because I have errands to run before we go. But Lucy's going in, my schnoodle. If you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is Teresa McMath01, by the way. But on Instagram, you've seen my schnoodle, Lucy. She's a schnauzer poodle, miniature schnauzer toy poodle. She's my little girl. But she's like 7 or 8. Oh, she'll be 9 this year. That's terrible. Oh, if I could clone. Oh, if I could clone her. She's just so perfect. Anyway, her temperament's perfect. But she's going for a dental cleaning. And that's like, so I'm going to be running to town back and forth to go drop her off and pick her up. So I could hop by the mailbox. I have to send my friend a book anyway. So get back to me, Julie. And thank you for everybody who left a comment. I wish I had a pattern for all of you. But I never win anything, by the way. So anyway, whenever there's like drawings, I'm not getting it. I guarantee you. But so that's everything. I have plans to stop procrastinating and get some stuff done. I packed clothing, but I need to pack other stuff. I have not picked a pattern or project to take on the cruise. Most people said to take 3. I need to go through and pick some stuff. I work best under pressure. Procrastination is my middle name. But it's getting a little ridiculous because we leave on Saturday, and I have stuff to do. So I need to go through and find a pattern to take and like have an epic new start, and then maybe a couple little ones. Probably definitely my whip goes. I could definitely finish those up. The March Madness, I haven't played a darn thing. I literally intended when I said that in January to have that done. I have thought about it a bit though, and I'm thinking about picking a series to try to attack in March Madness. So I have not finished the Cottage of the Month by, I think those are Little House Needleworks. I haven't finished those. I have a few left. I have Samplers of the Month. I have those Twin Peak Primitive. I have a lot of series with a lot of leftovers that have not been accomplished. So I thought, like, what if I start each one that's left over during March Madness, and then they're at least their start. That means they're at least getting on WIPGO. If I don't, I'm not wordplay, because wordplay has its own day, and not my prairie schoolers per se. but because those are good. I have, my son's only a freshman. I have 3 more years to finish those. But, so I thought about attacking a series that has a few left and putting those in Mania. I thought about really focusing on spring. I have nothing stitched for Valentine's, St. Patty's. I don't think I have an Easter item stitched. I seem to be pretty heavy in like the patriotic Christmas and fall stuff. And I think that's because that's generally when Fat Quarter Shop would have like stitch alongs, like there's their Christmas in July, and their Stitch Mania, and their Stitchtober, and there's a Christmas one too. But so I think I could maybe, I don't know. I think it'll be heavy on the Valentine's, Easter, and St. Patty's. So maybe some like regular summer that's not patriotic per se. I don't know. So I think that's it. I need to get my poop in a group, and let me know if you think it would be obnoxious to have a daily check-in on the cruise to tell you my progress, because I loved watching the Half Stitch Stitchers daily vlog. I loved it. I don't know. Sorry, I just shook the table. I loved it. Let me know. It seems like a lot of me but I liked watching her, so hopefully next time you see me I'll be tan. I'll just like radiate all the vitamin D I absorbed. I don't know if you know this, but I saw someplace that in Michigan it was like registered that we only had like 10 minutes of sunlight in all of January. So that's not a joke. We've been taking a lot of vitamin D supplements in this state. At least people should have been, because we're not getting it from the sun. There's not enough milk to get you vitamin D. So I hope that you have a wonderful stitchy week or two. I'll check in after the cruise, the Tuesday after the cruise. And hopefully I'll have my mania plans or my madness plans figured out. I'll have seeds about ready to start in the window. The spring is coming, you guys. So happy stitching. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.